Leading a high reliability school. Competency-based education by Tracy Lawson Jr. Competency-based education. So what is it? It talks about level 5 HRS, and it asks a critical question. How do we extend learning for high proficient students? So sometimes as a teacher or a supervisor or building administrator, you find those students who are above the curriculum, the framework for your class. Sometimes they're faster than it. So we have to understand, how do we extend learning so those students who are high proficient in their skills won't get bored. Students must demonstrate proficient in their grade level and skill to move forward to the next. Proficiency scales and data are ways to progress the growth of the students. Assessments must be consistent in order to continually track progress. So when we're talking about assessments must be consistent, you have to find a way to continually to assess the students that will track their progress. You don't want to use assessments that don't track progress or that won't give an accurate results. You want to have assessments that will help them be consistent so you can track the progress. Another important part is just them knowing the proficiency scale and how well that it can help them track their progress. All right, so leading indicator 5.1. Students move on to the next level of curriculum for any subject area only after they have demonstrated competency at the previous level. After they have demonstrated competency at the previous level. Students need to master a level of curriculum before moving on, but can work at an accelerated pace. Learning needs to be more personalized for each student. Incorporating technology allows for a more blended learning, which opens access to more resources. Archiving instructions electronically allows for a buildup of material that is readily available to the students. So, students need to master a level of curriculum. Well, you don't want your students moving on if they haven't mastered that level. But when you work, they can move at an accelerated pace that can help them keep going forward. You want to stay on a steady pace, or if you're moving at a good process, then you can move at an accelerated rate. Learning needs to be more personalized. We have to find what each student is needing or lacking. That way, we can personalize their work just for them. Technology is an important thing, especially in today's times where you have to blend your learning. You have to blend instruction and online instruction because now you have more access to resources. Archiving instructions such as recording lessons or giving out information for resources, it allows for a buildup of material that if the student needs to, they can come right to it. The example listed in the book shows specific learning resources that align with what the student needs to know. Independent work online can be beneficial for students who need extra attention when the teacher can't always help. Creates a blended opportunities using essential resources designed for your level. So when we're talking about independent work online, this allows for students to continue to move forward even when the teacher is not there to help them. Maybe students are lacking in a skill and they want to focus on that skill to move forward. Then independent work online can be beneficial because you can design it for that student who is lacking in a certain area, especially when the teacher is helping another student or the teacher might not be around or be absent that day and you can work on it. That's where that archiving instructions come in handy because now the student can relay back to that in order to move forward on their independent work. That also gives blended opportunities for using essential resources designed for their students' levels. Lagging indicators. Students track their own progress and share it with parents and teachers. Specific assessments to show competency, accurately report student proficiency, quick data analysis. Hold meetings with students to see where they stand in progress. Teachers keep records. Parents should be able to discuss plan as it's being used in school. Need to have clear expectations of proficiency in each grade level, Marzano 2018. So students need to track their own progress and be able to share their progress with their parents and teachers. Uh, Specific assessments to show that they are understanding what they need to know. Quick data analysis. Teachers need to keep record. Parents should be able to discuss the plan that is being used. Leading indicator 5.2. School schedule accommodates students moving at a pace appropriate to their situation and need. Must make preparations for student learning pace. Blended learning allows for online and in-person instruction, unlocking multiple resources. Teachers need time to find resources that will maximize student growth. Grouping students by grade level and competency while working on curriculum. Students need to have time to transition from content or level to another. So in this leading indicator, you must have the time to make preparations for student learning pace. So you have to have the information, the resources, the material for students to be able to learn where to go, what pace to move at. Blended learning allows for online and in-person instruction. This allows for multiple resources. Uh, Students are able to get in-class instruction. They're able to find tools online that allow for online instruction. It helps students just figure out which way, what's the best way to achieve that goal or unlock that skill. Um, Teachers need find the time to need the time to find the resources for student growth. Maybe grouping students by grade level or how well they are at a skill might be a way to work on the curriculum. Lagging indicators, scheduling matrix for moving through skills, records and documentation show students are on the appropriate level. Personalized levels are created for students to grow at a good pace. Quick collection and analyzing. Hold focus group to see which competency-based education progress works best. Discuss how school schedule allows for personalized learning. Students explain how individual learning helps them move at their own pace. Teachers must understand that blending learning should be incorporated more instead of traditional teaching. So what's important here is that the focus groups can allow for students to describe what works best for them. You know, it's always well to ask, what's the best way that you feel like you learn? You have to get their input on. Also, teachers must understand that blending learning should be incorporated more instead of traditional learning teaching. Nowadays, you have to have blended. That stand up all class period and teach is not what students really learn. Now, you have to be able to be flexible. Leading indicator 5.3. The school affords students who have demonstrated competency levels greater than those articulated in the system immediate opportunities to begin work on advanced content or a career path of interest. Students begin to work on curriculum not in the school system, incorporated secondary classes into the curriculum, be more job ready, competency-based education, proficient skills and resources allow for students to access skills not in the curriculum. Flexible grouping allows for teachers to focus on students who are on a certain skill level. So basically, it's allowing secondary education inside the school. You know, allowing students to advance their skills when they have shown to be proficient on a certain level. Lagging indicators, keep track number of college credits earned. School documentation shows content options and career interests students can take. Documents show which advanced content or career students have selected. Quick, quick collection, outside partners to offer training opportunities for students. Parents can explain which options students can choose that are available. Data can show percentage of students who selected extra option. Offer dual credit opportunities for students to acquire interest in different careers. So you just want to allow for students to have more opportunity. You want to show them the paths, the career paths, their interests, something that allow them to get out in the world and see what path they might want to choose going forward. These are my references, and I thank you for listening.